10분 기다리고 자전거
그
세게
영상을 다시 만들어야 되네.
그냥
그러니까
돌리면 되는데.
아니 큰 여기서 아니고 10분이 더 휴식 들어가는 것도 만들어줬어요. 자기네가 세팅을 못한대요.
쉬는 시간 어제 얼마나 돼요? 1시부터 보죠. 1시.
제 안내는 여기까지 하면 되겠죠.
전시회 자체로서도 아주
이거 어디 가서 하는 거죠? 너무 좋아.
영화를 저는 못 봐요. 영화 보셨어요?
우리 영화 봐요. 우리 영화 봐요. 들어갔는데 가슴이 봐야지. 1시부터라고.
여기는 사랑의 교회.
조용히 하세요.
사랑의 교회 영화관.
하지 마요 목소리.
Okeana means ocean in Russian, but my mom put a Lithuanian ending on it, so it's Okeana. My favorite part of the painting process is probably the very, very beginning, when I just start laying the first layers of paint. I don't wait for inspiration. Inspiration always waits for me. Our dreams, our visions, the people that we meet, nature is holding a universe, a library of stories. Growing up, my family was very poor. We didn't have a TV. My brothers and I made our own toys and spent a lot of time outdoors. I was naturally drawn to art.
Anything she could find, she'd draw. Draw art. We drawn on things, drawn on the walls. Imagine a house covered in oil paint. Then we were homeschooling. That would encourage them to be creative in anything that would produce color. They could use dandelions, or they would grab the berries from the garden.
Food, makeup.
She was practicing every day, and then she was painting things that were bigger than her. I made an easel for her that accommodated a 50 by 80. She did this enormous painting, enormous self-portrait.
Through art, I was able to detail these things that I was seeing, these worlds that I was feeling and experiencing.
I saw God today,
What is God?
full of light and love. I want to paint that one day,
Why did you think it was God?
just like I know your mommy, and you know I am Akiana.
When I was a child, these figures of light started appearing and guiding me through my days. One of these beings would always be next to me and always walk with me. I had no idea what God was, what Jesus was. Seeing this particular face, I just knew it was warmth, truth, and love, and unity. I had this unbelievable desire to paint this face. I tried sketching the face from memory, but it kept fading away. I began looking for a model was really determined to find specific features. And I looked everywhere, the malls, bus stops. My mom always tried to help me.
This is when I was being transformed myself spiritually, and I started believing in God.
I was looking for many years. I didn't want to give up. I just knew that everyone needed to experience this warmth, this embrace that I did. One day I just put my hands up in the air and I prayed. I'm like, if you want me to paint the Prince of Peace, bring him to the front door. The next day I heard a knock on the door, and it was this giant 7-foot-tall carpenter. He knew that I was looking for a model, but he did not realize that the artist was an 8-year-old girl. So
she was so enthusiastic, she started really waking up early just to make sure that nobody disturbs her. I was videotaping, and I have to say, it looked pretty miraculous.
my arms were all sore and numb. I barely had any energy left. I took my hair and cut it, and I made into a brush and completed the eyelashes. It took me about 40 hours. One side of his face is light that represents the truth. The dark side of his face represents the suffering. But there is the light in his eye on the dark side that represents he will always be with us when we need him. I was not intending to sell any of my pieces, especially Prince of Peace.
Art who could represent her would be the best idea.
And we were told that it was going to be for display purposes only.
But he didn't exhibit it, and when I asked him to return it back, he says, no, I will never return this. This is mine. I created Akiana. And he was absolutely cursing this painting and put his fingers like he wanted to destroy it. We had absolutely no food, no money, and we had a very sickly baby. So we couldn't afford the attorney to look at a contract. Everybody that I knew, I was asking to pray to give me words to convince him to return.
It was right on my 9th birthday. We were able to get it back, but it came back filled with sawdust in a wooden crate.
So we worked with Akiana, I don't know how long, but picking every little sawdust. It's still not fully dried.
Her next guest is already earning $45,000 for her work, and she's only 9. We discovered Akiana Kavarik in a small town in Idaho. Today, she's completed 40 things. Hello.
As I started publishing books and going on TV and magazines and radio, I was welcomed with people saying they have seen this face in their dreams. I was so blown away and so honored that this particular face that I was personally connected now with millions of people around the world. Whatever background, whatever religion they came from, this painting not only saved their lives, but gave them hope for the future.
We go to these interviews, and she goes, Dad, don't worry about it. That's only Montel Williams. Jeez, I'm Montel Williams. My hands are sweating, but she was calm all the time. No problem.
She would sacrifice her time for so many people. People coming to our gallery almost every day, sometimes hundreds and hundreds of them at the same time. But not everyone who came in was positive.
Some people, when they came across the Prince of Peace painting, called it blasphemy, and they wanted to burn my works. They wanted me to never paint again. And when I hear that as a 9-year-old, I was very crushed.
I was heartbroken. I tried to shelter her from
Shortly later, I had another agent.
He's interested in Prince of Peace, a couple more for exhibition, and he sells it without our permission.
I didn't know who had it. I didn't know where it was. It was missing from the face of the earth.
Why was I chosen instead of some other child?
Akiana, I have no clue. You were shy, and now you're on stages surrounded by cameras. Your weakness was language, and now you not only create poetry, but spend hours talking to people about deeply profound issues. You were quite strong-willed, and now you are tuned to spiritual insights.
I still feel like I'm the wrong person. Someone else would have been much better.
Maybe it's what's inside your hearts.
My family was always my biggest supporters and my biggest comforters. And we're all here today because we are all together holding strong and holding on to each other. Deep inside me, I felt that I just had to keep on going. I had to keep on pursuing my techniques. It's almost like I had that faith that the sun will rise the next day. I knew that that presence was there. I didn't have to worry because I saw it, I felt it, I painted it, and it always remained, no matter where I was, no matter what country I was living in. I have lived and traveled to 33 countries, and I had the opportunity to teach children around the world. I feel that is our duty as people on this planet, to help others as best as we can. Even during our darkest times, as a nomadic artist, I take the world and store it in my library and take it out when it's needed. I not only see all these spectrums of colors, but I can feel it, I can taste it even, and I can sometimes hear it. Red, to me, represents the color of
할렐루야. 여기는 사랑의 교회 2025 WEA 서울총회 주 2025년 10월 27일부터 31일까지 제4회 한국교회 성김의 날, 마찬가지로 27일부터 28일까지 가을 글로벌 특별 새벽 부흥회 10월 23일부터 28일까지 아키아나 예수를 통한 믿음의 여정. 할렐루야. 복음으로 세계를 섬기는 꿈을 꿉니다. 할렐루야. 글로벌. 야. 삶의 교회, 대한민국, 우리 모두 이렇게 고백하기를, 전에도 일하신 하나님 오늘도 역사하실 것을 확신합니다. 할렐루야. 할렐루야. 와우. 우리의 성김을 통해 복음의 새 길과 부흥의 새 역사. 할렐루야. 할렐루야. 복음으로 세계를 섬기는 꿈을 꿉니다. 2025년 WEA 서울총회 10월 27일부터 30일까지 사랑의 교회에서 제4회 한국교회 성김의 날 제23차 가을 글로벌 특별 새벽 부흥회 아키아나 예수를 통한 믿음의 여정. 할렐루야. 아키아나 천재소녀에서 세계적인 거장으로 아키아나 예수를 통한 믿음의 여정. 아키아나가 8살에 그린 예수 초상화로 오프라 윈프리쇼, CNN 등에 출연하며 세계적으로 알려짐. 할렐루야. 주여. WEA 할렐루야.